Good morning and welcome to Church at Home with Rachael for Monday, the 4th of October. Time is really flying along, isn't it? Today, I would like to talk a little bit about asking for help. I'm sort of thinking about Thanksgiving coming up and all of those things for which we can give thanks. And it occurred to me that sometimes we need to give thanks for things that are a little bit more difficult to realize we need to give thanks for. So I'd like to talk to you about asking for help. How often have you in your life been able to, without worry about anything, just go over and ask somebody for help? Ask for assistance with something without worrying about it or feeling embarrassed or anything like that. Isn't that a great feeling? Little kids are great. They're trying to tie their shoe and they can't, and they come and they ask for help. They're trying to get a door open, so they ask for help. They don't have any sense of embarrassment or shame or anything in not being able to do it themselves. But something seems to happen as we get older. We get a little bit more reluctant to ask for help. Maybe we think that we should be able to do it on our own, or people will judge us for not being able to do something, or that maybe we made a mistake and we waited too long for something and now we need to ask for help. There's this stigma about asking for help that somehow it's a bad thing. And I mean, that can go from asking for financial help when things are difficult. Maybe things have just you've fallen on hard times. God knows millions of Canadians are struggling during this pandemic with their work or with bills. And it's amazing how at first it seemed like we were having some breaks on things. In Ontario, they sort of cut hydro prices for a little while and then everything went up. I'm finding that things seem to be getting more expensive the longer this pandemic goes on. And income doesn't necessarily match it. So yeah, asking for financial help for some folks, that's a big thing. Asking for help in finding a job. Just because you're looking for a job doesn't mean that you have been a lazy mom and haven't had one. Maybe you've been a stay-at-home mom and you couldn't have a job because it was more cost effective for you to stay home to raise your children than try to work to pay for childcare when you felt more comfortable being at home with your kids, which is totally awesome too. Maybe you've lost a job and you're looking for a new job. Maybe you've never had a job before and you don't know where to start. The fact that you're looking for a job, that's incredible. Why would we be ashamed about asking others to help us? What if we need help in some other way? Something that other people would deem that you should have known better. We shouldn't have to worry when we get to that point where we say, you know what, I need help. We shouldn't have to worry that someone else is going to judge us for our past actions. In this moment, we are honestly trying to figure out how to make the next step forward, whatever that might be, whether it's learning how to do a new craft or a new task, learning how to learn something, learning math at school, going back to school, finding a new job, looking for help for your health. Who knows? It doesn't matter. We should not put anyone in a position where they feel like asking for help that will help to better them, is something that they should be feel shameful for. That's ridiculous. It seems to me that in the gospel, the people that went to Jesus and asked for help, Jesus didn't make them feel ridiculous. A couple of times there's a bit of a parable or a lesson there that makes them have to answer some questions. But Jesus never humiliated anyone. He didn't turn them away and say to them absolutely, utterly, you're not worth my help. He never did that. The disciples, from time to time, sort of indicated that there were those who could use their help and those who shouldn't even ask. But Jesus consistently said to them, you're being ridiculous. At one point, he even says, those who are not against me are for me. Meaning that if they're out there doing the work, even if they don't really believe in me yet, give them a chance because they will. They're doing the work of God, whether or not they realize it. You and I have an opportunity, probably every day if we were to recognize it, to help another person, to offer help before they even ask, or to be the kind of person that they feel comfortable asking for help. And then helping them, not doing it for them, but helping them. allowing them the grace of and the peace of knowing that they can come to us and we will walk beside them. We will come alongside them to help them to do whatever needs to be done. And we're not going to make fun of them. We're not going to laugh at them. We're not going to make them feel ashamed. We are simply going to do as Jesus would do. We are going to help them. We're going to love them. We're going to pray for them. Sometimes I think that the giving of help is a whole heck of a lot more easier than receiving help, being the one who has to ask. So if it's up to us to be very careful that we don't humiliate someone or make them feel bad when they come to ask us for help, then we also have to be careful because we need sometimes, probably more often than we would like to recognize, we need to be the ones who ask for help. I know what it's like to have to go to someone, probably long after you should have asked for help and trying to be independent or doing it on my own and going and saying, you know what, I do need your help. And I know how it feels when that person says, okay, let's roll up our sleeves. What can we do? I also know how it feels when you get the lecture about, well, you should have come earlier and if you had done this before, then this wouldn't be this bad and blah, blah, blah. And you end up feeling humiliated and you want to cry or run away or just go back to where you were. Receiving that kind of help is painful. But when we need help, we need help. Recently, someone that I respect a great deal talked about the need that he had to go to a doctor's appointment. And he was very, very concerned about how they were going to treat him. He's already feeling bad. Hadn't have good experiences with going to doctors, and sort of said, okay, God, can you please help me? I need someone who's gentle and who isn't going to berate me and make me feel bad about myself, and I just need to go. And he went and he was received on time, and they dealt with him quickly, and they were gentle and pastoral and caring, and he came away feeling like, wow, that was fantastic. What I had to come here for wasn't pleasant, but they made this as easy an experience as possible. How incredible is that? We all need that. We all need to recognize that when we need help, the first thing we should do is pray. Ask God to help us. Lay out what we think we need. I have a difficult phone call to make today. And I'm not much of a phone person. I face read. So to see a person's face, even Zoom for me is sometimes better than phone calls. But I have to make a difficult phone call today, and I have to ask something that I'm, for myself. It's nothing big, not a big deal, and I'm nervous, outrageously nervous. Like I shouldn't be, but I am. And so, I'm panicking and I'm putting off the phone call, And that's just silly. I need to pray. I need to trust that God will walk before me and that everything is going to be okay. But I have to let go of my fears and my anxieties and my worries about what's going to happen, how my question will be received, how might the person respond to me. I need to trust that it's going to be okay. And even if it isn't, I have the strength to deal with it. We need to do both things. We need to be patient and considerate and compassionate for those people who are coming to us and asking for help. But at the same time, we have to be willing to be humble and open and courageous enough to ask for help and trust that when we ask, the answer will be yes. And we will have people walk us through how to receive that help and get to that place that we're going. Because chances are, if we're asking for help, it's because we honestly want to be better, to do better, to be in a better place. So for that, I give thanks today. I give thanks that we can ask for help in our world. And I give thanks that there are people who encourage us to do so. And I also give thanks that there are people who will ask us for help and that we can be the person who responds with generosity and grace and peace and patience and helps them to have a better day too. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your day. Say prayers, offer help, ask for help, and give thanks for everything in your life. God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachel.